If there's one thing to do, make a written list of everything you need to do. Okay?
Overwhelmed, and it makes them feel as if they're short.
If they don't have time, they probably don't manage it, but somebody else is.
So what I want to ask you is just as a conclusion, where does this start? So if someone's completely disorganized, where's the first place to start organizing yourself?
Well, it's a good question, and there's multiple answers possible, depending on how good they know themselves.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, do they know already what their biggest problem is? Okay, because I always favor to start with what gives you the biggest value. I've read the book once, well, not once. I read Getting Things Done by David Allen. Pretty sure.
Yeah, you mentioned that early in the series.
Yeah, probably I did, and because it had quite an influence on me, and it's overdoing it. It's a book for an engineer, that one, and it explains like step by step how to start this, and I mean, and it takes you. I think he said in his book, I'm not sure anymore, 1 day to do that. So I said, okay, let's do this. And I did this at the beginning of my holidays. And after 3 days, I gave up because, I mean, I wasn't even ready. I mean, after 3 days, because I was such a catastrophe myself. I would say, if there's one thing to do, make a written list of everything you need to do. Okay? And you have to accept that even if it's on the list, you probably will not be able to do all of it.
Would you include your home life and every other part of your life in that list?
Yes.
So like,
yes,
and everything out of your head.
Yes. And if you only do that's a common mistake. Mistake. If you only do the jobs that you need, the tasks that you need to do for work, okay, and you forget something that you promised your partner, you're gonna have a shitty life at home, okay? If you do it the other way around, you're gonna have a shitty life at work. And we are all aware that there is not such a clear line anymore between private life and work life. I mean, we're doing work from people. I mean, our boss or our clients are calling us while we are shopping in the weekend or in the evening. We need to do some courses in shops that are only open, that don't have a website, and that are only open during working hours. So we need to mix those worlds. It's not possible to separate them anymore. At least for a lot of people it is. Okay, and then people are having other activities as well. They're in a sports club or they're a volunteer for some, everything together. They can tag differently. So this is a private, this is okay, I have a different way of tagging. Because if I'm in the car driving and I have the time for 4 phone calls and I need to do 2 phone calls for work, and I know that I also have to make a phone call for private, why would I not do that at the same time? If I have to work with 2 or 3 lists because I have 2 or 3 different roles, yeah, oh, damn, I forgot the right to-do list. No, it doesn't work that way. So everything in one place, out of your head, onto the paper. From the moment something is noted somewhere on the paper, on your mobile or wherever you note it down, you no longer have to think about it. Okay, you're sure that you got it covered somewhere. We already covered that last time.
Okay, so do you, just to interrupt you, do you split those things into categories, or do you use a mind map, or do you just have one just constant list? What do you do?
I have. It's a difficult one because in principle, I have a constant list, but they are tagged differently. I use tags. Okay, so I use different tags for this is related to a project at work, this is related to a project for a client, this is related to some voluntary work that I do.
So it's one big list, and you've just got like different tags to categorize them differently.
Yeah, that categorize them per what is it about, and how does it relate to a project that is important to me. Okay, but I also tag them for what's the best place or what is the best context in which to perform these tasks. Phoning from the car, or doing shopping, or when I'm with Adrian, I need to talk to him about that. You might be a tag in my list.
Okay, so that's very interesting. It will be good to see what that looks like, because I've got no idea what you're talking about there in terms of how you would link them together.
It actually, because of the tagging is then used in the software to organize them. It looks like a tree structure.
So it's done on an app.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using OmniFocus, but there are multiple apps that can be used for that.
Okay, cool. So I think that's an important piece. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you put categories and subcategorize it. Is an important piece, because for me, I use a mind map, so I just do it in a journal, so I don't use any software for it, but I've got 4 big things, and then I split them down, and whatever's on the outside is a list of jobs.
Yeah. Now the second thing is, so if you have done that, I would say the second thing is make sure that you have some system to prioritize, and you don't have to prioritize.
Yeah, I just look at them, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 12 things, I was these are the most important. Boom, 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 boom.
Exactly. I guess that the next problem is to find time to do these tasks. So start planning on your calendar. Start to manage your time, your calendar. When do you do what? So you put a slot in for your email every day. You put a slot in when are you going to think about what to do that day or the next day. Put a slot in there, book that, and then every day during that slot you think about what am I going to do during the rest of the day or tomorrow. For me, I do that slot in the morning, and then I look in the morning, how am I going to divide the day?
So we get a list of tasks, and then we
start organizing.
It for the whole week.
Exactly.
If you can, time box it for the whole week, and work from there.
Exactly. And from that moment on, you're already a long way. Then you have to start looking, what's my next big problem? Is it email? Is it cleaning up my email? And be aware, cleaning up your email can take weeks, if not months. It's hard for people to say goodbye to emails that they've kept for so long, and now they're going to delete them. Well, then why did you keep them for 2 years? I mean, that newsletter with that important message about a very good wine under the £10 or €10, okay, in 2018.
What about running an auto archive function, and then you never have to say that again? You don't have to make the decision yourself. Something else is automatically archiving it.
Yeah, but do you want to archive or do you want to delete? You want to have the habit of deleting. I read a lot of business stuff. Okay, it's just me. I'm studying or still doing a doctorate and everything. I did masters. I did 3 masters and things like that. So I'm very interested in business stuff and where are they. So I have a couple of newsletters from, I have one from McKinsey. Okay, There's a newsletter of McKinsey. It'll probably be interesting. And I look at the time, oh, that's really interesting. Don't have time now. I'll archive that and I'll read that later. And so I'll end up with 1,000 emails from McKinsey. Okay. At some point, I might have, if I would if I would have been in that situation now, I would have had articles from 2016 from McKinsey that I certainly would like to read. I know that because I saw it in March 2016 and I was keen to read it then. So I archived it so I would read. Well, of course, I never read it. Why would I keep that? So I go to, at a certain moments in time, I go to my archive and show me all mails sent by McKinsey quarterly. And I select them and I push delete and I don't care about them anymore. Okay? And it frees up space, but it frees also up mental space. I don't have to worry about it. We worry too much about things that we still should do, but that keeps us away from doing the things that are really worthwhile doing.
A lot of people say to me that they haven't got time. But when you actually look at everything, they have got time. It's they haven't got space in their head.
That's a problem, yeah.
It feels like they haven't got time, but they have actually got the time. It's just like they're overwhelmed, and it makes them feel as if they're short of time.
Yeah, and in addition to that, okay, because those people, I know those people, I've met them, I've been one of them, and in addition to that, if they don't have time, they probably don't manage it, but somebody else is. You know, if you don't manage your time yourself, other people will manage it for you. They will send you urgent emails to read, interesting stuff to look at, things to do because they know how to defer and you don't, how to delegate and you don't. I mean, and in modern times, with social media, so much news available, so much interesting things to learn. I mean, for me, learning even is an interesting thing. It's easy to put time on things that are less valuable.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to leave that. So thank you very much, Mark. So that brings me to the end of the series.
Thank you.
And I noticed you've written some articles that just clarifies everything for people. Because since this has been a very informal just chat about all these different things, I thought it would be very nice if the viewers could have a simple way of putting these things together. So what I've done is I've taken your articles and I've put it on a page on my website.
Oh, great.
So, at the bottom of the screen, hopefully you'll have a link there and it'll be in the comments below.
If people have questions or some things are not clear, or they would have us answer a couple of other questions that we didn't think of, put a comment on the website, send a mail to Adrian. I'm pretty sure his contact details are also on the link, and we'll try to answer them.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, write it in the comments.
Oh yeah.
And what we can do is we will have a video where we read through the comments and we answer them all. So that would be useful. Okay, so again, thanks very much, Mark, and I will catch you.